All right, lads, welcome back to another episode of the Stogie Lads podcast. Finally, lad, we say it every time, I know, but this is a real, almost a throwback at this point for us because it's been a while since we did this together, just you and I recording a podcast for fun, and it feels good.
It feels really good, and we're currently sitting right now out in the countryside in the evening, and just, what is it? It's 8 o'clock, it's past 8 o'clock, and it's still so warm out here. We're sitting in t-shirts, and it's just a beautiful evening. So
it's fully light out. Yeah, it's a calm evening. There's no wind, which is perfect for recording this and to smoke cigars, of course, because this is a special episode. If you guys remember, for last year, we did a alcoholic cigar pairing bonanza where we tried whiskeys and rums and I guess port and beer and everything.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
And we said in that episode that next year let's do a non-alcoholic one. And for once, the lads delivered.
Exactly.
For once, we didn't choke.
We could remember what we've said on previous podcasts. So right now we're sitting here with about, we haven't counted, but I think approximately 12 different non-alcoholic drinks in front of us, which we will be going through today.
And this was a big request. I mean, I want to say, there is a surprisingly large community of cigar smokers that don't drink alcohol. I think there are a few people that have dropped alcohol out of their lives and sort of turned to cigars as a hobby to sort of fill. And I know that's that's been a very successful method for a lot of people. I know that's popular on Reddit. There's a lot of people there. And I know on Instagram we know a few people that don't drink alcohol at all, and some of these pairings are actually inspired through Instagram, and some of them are from other lists and stuff. We'll go through them, but yeah, we do the what's in our glass. I guess the fun thing today is, lad, what is our palate cleanser? Because usually that's like a light water or something.
So our palate cleanser today is, of course, something completely opposite of what we're what we're pairing. So we do have a Tam Navulin whiskey in our hands as our palate cleanser. So taking a sip of that.
It's funny because everything that we're drinking today is in a way a palate cleanser. So just to break it off, we're drinking some sherry cask whiskey on the other side. But like I said, we are smoking a cigar. So this is probably the first time since maybe the last podcast, like the alcoholic pairing ones, that we're actually smoking. Obviously, we can't remember,
except for the most recent podcast we had with Jeremiah.
Of course, that's true. Yeah. I guess that's the last update. I mean, now we're finally back on the horse, so we're recording again. I guess we took a little summer hiatus, but like Ruben said, the last podcast was the Jeremiah one, which it was a really special one. And that was, we were smoking some really exclusive cigars.
Oh, yeah.
But today we have something a little more casual, although you have a nice one, lad. What are you smoking?
Yeah, I have a throwback to one of the first interview we had on here from Edgar Julian Suede, his cigar, the Cubanada. So what I'm looking at is a Ecuadorian wrapper cigar here, and might be a little nicer than I would have brought with me, since we're just pretty much testing the pairings, but I expect it to be kind of medium bodied and medium strength, I guess, kind of.
And that's it's a bundle cigar, I guess, so it does fit in that way, but it's a very modern bundle in the way that it's not actually like a cheap short filler cigar. I have a quite cheap cigar. It's a new one, though, pretty new. It's called La Estrella Polar, which means the polar star, like the North Star, I guess. I think that's what it is in Spanish. It's a long filler cigar. It's by the Scandinavian Tobacco Group. You can start lighting up if you want, lad. It's a brand new cigar, at least the last few years, and it's a pretty interesting blend, actually, because it has some tobacco that I think I've smoked, but it's been a while, because it has some Colombian filler.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, I know CAO, I think, have a Colombian themed cigar even that has some Colombian filler, but it's not the most usual tobacco. It has a 2015 a 2013 Indonesian binder, and it has a 2015 Honduran wrapper, I want to say. It's not the prettiest cigar. It was really dried and cracked on the head, like on the cap when I cut it, and it actually cracked. Ruben can probably see it's unraveling a little bit out the top there, and I tried to be careful with it. But we'll see what it is. Yours is a Corona Gorda, which is actually my favorite Vitola, and I have your favorite Vitola, the Robusto. So that's a little bit
switching it up a bit.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Carl, you're just lining up now. I took a few
I've had that
puffs of mine
cigar,
now.
actually.
Yeah, you've had it. When did you smoke this?
I smoked it a few years ago, or weeks ago, at a friend's sort of birthday party to try it out. I mean, we got these through from Edgar through our friend Manny, which was really cool. And it's fun to smoke these. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the interview, you should watch it with Edgar.
Yeah, exactly. I smoked a few other bundles from Edgar, the Piggy Smalls,
Right.
and the very interesting the Cinque Terre cigar smoked in the beginning of this summer.
God, this is awful construction. But yeah, lad, let's go through. What do we have here in front of us? Because we haven't said we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pairings, and our palate cleanser. I guess the 10th.
Exactly.
So what do we have here, lad?
Yes. So from what we're gonna start off with is a cup of hot tea, and then we have which
Twinings
is
Earl Grey. We should
Earl
say.
Grey, exactly.
Bog
tea
standard
is a pretty
tea.
Exactly wide range otherwise.
Yeah.
And then after that we have iced tea lemon. We have a Red Bull energy drink. We have a regular Coca-Cola. We have orange juice, which we've heard from different people should be a pairing, but we've pretty skeptical towards that one.
True.
We have Sprite Zero. We have the San Pellegrino Aranciata, which we've also seen around the community. And then we have a really obscure one. We have a yogurt drink with strawberry flavor. And then we have the Coke vanilla flavor, regular sparkling water, and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, so you
we
touched
should
on
mention one of the things we couldn't get at the store was the root beer, which we really wanted to try because we've had tried it exactly before as well.
Yeah, so we can say, I mean, it's a really good pairing, root beer. I mean, we've had it a few times. Root beer is kind of good in general. Like, I'm not a big soda person, but root beer is actually a pretty good one. But root beer is a solid cigar pairing. It's a very good sort of soda that's not overly boring and just sugary. But like Ruben said, some of these are interesting. The Red Bull is just to change it up, try something crazy. Maybe it's an underrated pairing. But the apple juice, or the orange juice, is one that's showed up on lists. Like you said, you saw it on a few lists. And that's one that apparently is a very underrated one that you wouldn't imagine. And then it's the sodas and we have some milk as well, some regular milk. Maybe I left it out. I'll go snatch it up. We have so many, so I guess we have 12 then. Some regular milk, which if you guys saw my live with Reinhard, that was one that was really really obscure. So I guess let's try tea out. And I don't know, lad, are you a big tea drinker?
I'm not. I'm a big coffee drinker.
Same here.
I'll drink tea when there's no coffee left at home. And you haven't gone to the store yet and picked it up. But
that's actually not half bad. I should say, while Ruben is sipping this La Estrella Polar is an extremely sweet cigar. It's light, it's sweet, it's fruity. It's better than I expected. I know that Cubanada isn't that same profile, so it's different. But the tea, it was actually a really nice pairing. This almost tasted like a floral honey next to this tea.
Yeah, I can get that. It did not really clash.
It didn't clash?
No, sorry. It kind of clashed actually with this cigar. Let me take another sip.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, mine was actually surprisingly good. I have to say, like, the tea, whenever I've like sort of enjoyed tea, it's like tea with some honey in it and all that stuff. I actually think this is pretty good, I have to say. I don't know if it's because it's late in the evening here or...
Okay, it wasn't bad, but the initial reaction for me was kind of
it's thin.
Was a bit of a harshness.
Oh, really?
With a bit of bitterness from the tea and the cigar together.
This is actually like legitimately my first time ever having tea with cigars. I have always thought that tea would be way too thin. I think tea is very thin. Like, I like coffee because coffee is very heavy. Like, it coats your palate with the oils of the coffee and stuff, even when you're having it alone. I always find tea so thin compared to coffee, but this is surprisingly full in flavor and body.
It's actually not bad. I don't know what the bitterness was at first, but this...
Maybe your palate just needed to adjust. All right, so let's hold off of this. Let's do a classic while we're here now. Let's do the Coca-Cola, lad.
Yeah, sure.
This is one that we've had many times.
Just need to cleanse the palate a bit.
Yeah, cleanse the palate with some whiskey. Coca-Cola is one of those. If you search up non-alcoholic pairing lists, almost every list has Coke. It's the classic soda, but it actually works very well with cigars, in my opinion. It's this sort of similar with Dr. Pepper and root beer in the way that it's like it's its origin is from spices and a lot of like flavors like that. It's not a very one-dimensional soda.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, in my opinion, it works. Wow, that's very thin. Jesus. After the tea, after the whiskey, having the Coke feels, for me, it's very tasteless. I don't know what it's like for you, lad.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
I usually think it's good.
It's the flavor is definitely reduced a lot from the Coke.
Yeah, it tastes very thin. It doesn't taste that sweet either.
Exactly, not so sweet.
That's weird. I think my sweet cigar, my sort of sweetness in my cigar is kind of killing this Coke. I don't know. This isn't even, this is a non-Cuban blend. I think this is a sort of medium-bodied cigar, I should say, when I'm this far into it, but it's not. The Coke is so flat. Jesus. This is the first time I've had such a poor experience with Coca-Cola. Now, lad, you can wax while I get the milk.
I mean, like the tea, this is actually for me getting better and better as I get into the sips. The sweetness is definitely more mellowed out, but it's, in this sense, I don't think either the cigar or the Coke is too dominant.
Okay. I don't know if this is, maybe it's because my cigar has so much natural sweetness, but this Coke, this is probably the worst experience I've had with Coke ever, I think, genuinely. I've never had such a bad experience with Coke and cigars. The Coke for me is so unbelievably flat. Yeah, this is a boring, like, I could drink this Coke, but like, yeah, I don't know. This one is like, I'd toss it aside. Like, I don't know. This is like water. Let's give some scores, lad, like last time. What did we do out of 10? What did we do? Of course we can't remember. We were just bragging about how.
I mean, last time there was actual like alcohol involved, so
I guess it's out of 90. Yeah, true. The tea, I'd say it's a solid 85. I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was great.
What do you mean out of 90?
Or out of 100.
Yeah,
I mean.
okay.
Sorry.
Tea for me, 83.
Okay, so even lower than I thought. Okay.
Coke, 85.
Okay, fascinating. Coke, I'd say 80.
Mm-hmm.
This was take it or leave it. So, yeah, no, the Coke is not great. The tea, I'd prefer the tea. I just had another sip of the tea, and the tea felt even more fully flavored than the Coke. The Coke is just so bland in my palate right now. All right, let's get it interesting. We've had a hot beverage. We've had a classic soda. Reinhard, our friend who works with Jeremiah Merpfeld now, and he's worked with Light 'Em Up, and I mean, you guys might know him already. He speaks very highly of milk with cigars, and I don't like milk in general, like drinking it. You don't either, right?
I don't drink milk just by itself.
It's a lot of people do probably here in Sweden, like compared to other countries, but I know people like kids do it in the U.S. and stuff. It's like a classic.
Yeah, I mean, it was that whole like make your bones stronger kind of thing, you know.
But Reinhard speaks very highly of milk. Now, the milk-based beverages I've had with cigars, I think it's just coffee. Like, I've had coffee and milk in, like, cappuccinos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any other way that I've had milk introduced with cigars.
No, exactly. And no, I haven't had chocolate milk or anything like that either with cigars, actually.
But Reinhard says that the texture, because the milk is, except for this drinking yogurt, is definitely going to be the thickest sort of, I guess sort of with the orange juice, the most viscous texture-wise. Everything else is just either carbonated or flat. So yeah, I'm going to have a little sip here. God, I don't like drinking milk like this.
I mean, we've had cocktails, I think, that have had milk.
Jesus, that was awful. Have a sip, lad.
Okay. I'm just going to take a puff.
That was really, really grim. I don't like milk like this. It just, again, the cigar is sweet, so like the slight sweetness you can get in milk was just nullified. Oof. This for me, that was a tough pill to swallow.
I don't know. There is something about the thickness of the milk.
Oh, when you say it, it just go. It's not that I have anything against milk. I'm not like vegan or anything. It's just drinking straight milk like this grosses me out a little bit sometimes. What do you think? What's your take?
I'd say that the cigar was very, very dulled by the milk, like the flavors. But and it's like now that I have a milk coating in my mouth and taking a puff, the flavor of the cigar is very, very dampened, and there's, I mean, there could be something to it. I don't. No, it's actually getting worse.
You know what?
As like my mouth is heating up from the smoke and everything, it's actually getting worse.
You know what's really fascinating? What you're saying is the opposite experience that I'm having. The cigar is killing the milk. Like when I have a sip of this milk, it tastes like thick water, and like a little bit of sourness almost. But the cigar itself, if I take a puff, the cigar like it brings my palate back to normal. It's like the milk coats my mouth in a thick like. Yeah, liquid, and then like I take a puff of the cigar, and it's all back to normal. The milk is extremely, it's thin in flavor as well, and I'm not smoking a heavy cigar whatsoever on my palate.
No, true.
But it's killed the Coke and it's killed the milk for me, which is interesting. Oof, yeah, that's grim. That's a 50-pointer for me. That's awful.
I mean, it's not going that well, but. There could be something to it. It's a completely different experience with the milk.
We haven't done all the different types. I know Reinhard spoke about almond milk versus oat milk and all this stuff, but I'm not that interested in exploring further.
No, I wouldn't. I would probably not sit down with a glass of milk.
And it's just the fact that we don't like drinking milk alone anyway. Like some of these other drinks I like drinking, like the whiskeys and the rums and that stuff, like I like it on its own. It's strange to have to think that a cigar would bring forward a drink that I don't like. I never have a glass of milk in my day.
No, exactly. Barely have milk at home, actually.
Give me some of the points.
Let's do. It's weird when you get down to these lower ratings, but I'm gonna say like 65 because it wasn't ruined. It was just different. Didn't like it.
All right, so let's do something a little more classic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with the Sprite. Now, what's interesting about this is Sprite I don't hear much about, but I think the sort of lime factor, like the lemon lime style. I mean, soda is very popular, like we discussed in general. It's very, very popular with cigars. I think the lemon lime thing makes it probably refreshing, right? I feel like it has potential. This is a zero sugar version though, which I wanted to try out. I think it's fun, since the Coke was a normal sugary Coke, which is usually good. Sugary stuff with cigars is usually a very good pairing. This is the zero sugar. Now, will this taste disgusting because of the sweetener? That's what I'm fascinated with here.
That's the thing. I personally usually drink the regular versions.
Oh, it's awful. Jesus.
Yeah, let me take it.
No, this is not looking good in my favor. In the alcoholic one, I can remember just saying everything was really good, and everything was between 90 or like 85 to 95. Here it's, that's awful, that's awful, that's awful. Let's take a palate cleanser and drink some of the whiskey instead. Let me say this: zero, like sweetener, like drinks with that artificial sweetener, I don't like in general. I don't really hate them, but like I don't like that artificial sweetener flavor. Sometimes that you can taste it later on your finish. I think the cigar brings the finish forward much earlier. I can taste that artificial sweetener much earlier. I
was just about to agree with you, and I don't know if it's the artificial sweetener in this one or if it's the like lemon lime kind of artificial
really
taste of that. If it's the artificial taste of the lemon lime, because that is what I'm feeling when I puff, taking a sip and puff on the cigar.
Yeah.
I can feel that lemon lime taste just going artificial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it tastes like bitter lemon, and then like the fake sweetener. Like it doesn't. Sometimes you can be a little fooled when you have a artificial sweetened drink. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes it can almost feel normal. This in no way from start to finish it never feels like a normal one. I really like it. It tastes bad. This one tastes bad. Yeah, this Sprite tastes bad. Like the lemon lime aspect is bad from the beginning, and the artificial sweetener is very clear. And it's ruining my cigar as well. I have to say, like the cigar has, I'm not feeling any of the natural sweetness in the cigar either. Like this cigar is being very dull.
This one I feel like I can pretty much just taste the Sprite, and then when I puff on the cigar, then it's this artificial lime.
It coats your
Lemon.
mouth a little bit. Yeah, this is not good. This is a 55 for me. It's slightly better than the milk. Like I'd rather have this in the milk if you could give me one of the pairings. But I'd rather have.
For me, this is worse than the milk. This is like a 55.
Yeah, I just had another sip. That's not good. This is not a tasty drink at all. All right, let's switch it up here. We've done the sodas, we've done the tea, we've done the milk. This was the one that we thought of ourselves, kind of.
Didn't find this on any lists or recommendations. So.
But I know a lot of people drink this drink, and a lot of people mix caffeine and cigars. A lot of people drink coffee, a lot of people drink whatever. Red Bull and cigars, should it work? I mean, this is not an unsweetened Red Bull. This is the classic blue and silver can that you all know. I've never heard of anyone drinking Red Bull and smoking cigars. I've literally never heard of it.
Red Bull and cigarettes, absolutely, but Red Bull and cigars.
Right, that's so true.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, let's try this out. Oh, God. Oh, that's awful. Oh, Lord. I did not expect myself being such a hater in this episode. Jesus, it doesn't taste sweet at all. It just brings out the bitterness in the Red Bull.
I can pretty much only taste Red Bull, actually.
This, to me, does not taste
puff.
like a normal one. Oh, and the cigar just tastes like, oh, God, the cigar just tastes synthetic now. This is really bad. This might be the worst one. For me, this might actually be the worst one. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God, yeah, that... Taking a puff of that after having a sip.
That is grim.
It's like taking a puff after, it's like just drinking a flat Red Bull.
Oof, yeah.
That is bitter.
Oh,
like a bitter, flat Red Bull.
Yeah, please, if any one of you guys listening do drink Red Bull with your cigars, please reach out. Yeah, I want to know how you do this, because the Red Bull coats the mouth after as well.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It really does.
I didn't expect it to do so much. Like, it tastes like this weird... everyone knows Red Bull, right? This synthetic gumball.
Exactly. I have that fruity gumball thing in my mouth right now after 2 puffs.
I'm puffing too hard on the cigar because I'm trying to get flavor out of it.
You need a palate cleanse, my friend.
I actually need a little sippy poo of this. Oh, God. And that was your score for this tonight.
That 150, or what is failing even? Let's put it 49.
Yeah, under 60 in high school. Like, the U.S. high school system is under 60. But, yeah, this is a 40 for me. Like, this Red Bull was so fucking disgusting. And I don't mind Red Bull in general. Like, I'm not one of those... Like, there's a lot of people that hate Red Bull. I don't even think Red Bull's that awful in regular life.
No, I like Red Bull.
It's a fine energy drink. It's really horrific with the cigar. Like, that surprised me. I'm wondering what people are thinking of this, because I'm being a true hater. I didn't even like the Coke.
Yeah.
I think I know what's going to save this.
What did you give the Coke?
I gave the Coke... No, I gave the Coke an 80, which is not that bad. I think I can save it, though, because this I really like. I really like this drink. We have a tall glass of iced tea, cold, recently mixed from concentrate. That true flavor. But here we have the lemon lime flavor again. Mm-hmm. No artificial sweetener, though. I think this is going to be good.
Let's see what it got. And
it's very thin. It's very thin. Mm-hmm. It's not bad in any way. There's no, like, with the Coke, it was thin, but, like, the sugar felt a little, I don't know, like syrupy. This is thin in flavor, but it just tastes a little bit like water. That's fascinating. I think the Red Bull's still killing my palate. I need to have another sip. What's your verdict? It's thin, right?
It's thin. It's I think it has flavor though.
Okay.
It's It's got that sweetness, but kind of not harsh sweetness. It's got.
Whoa. I just had a crazy sip there. And for reference here, when I mixed this glass, I had a sip before coming out, and I said this was very like nostalgic for me. I used to drink a lot of this like lemon iced tea in Brazil. Like there's, if you're in Rio or whatever on the beach, they sell these all the time. They're really good. And when I had a sip, I thought it was really flavorful. This last sip I just had after puffing my cigar tasted literally, and I'm not exaggerating, like nothing. Like
nothing.
Absolute water.
Wow.
Like I did not even drink anything other than water. That's really weird. That's really, really weird. It's actually crazy.
Like for me, I'm getting very subtle
Nothing.
citrus. I'm getting this very slight sweetness.
It's neutral. It's neutral.
That's
It's
very interesting.
unbelievable. This is even more eye-opening than like the alcoholic one. I feel like everything was pretty good all the time, but everything was very slightly different.
This is much more interesting.
Yeah. The shifts are huge here. The shifts are huge. I need to try some of this Coke. I don't know if my palate's killed. No, now the Coke is more flavorful. This is just flat. Yeah, 60. I mean, it's neutral. There is nothing. I guess it passed by 1 point.
I liked it.
I wish I would like it. I thought I would like it before trying it.
It's balancing just on the citrus making it bitter, the pairing, though.
Okay. Score?
But I'm gonna give it an 80.
So fascinatingly enough, tea that neither of us ever drink is the best still. Or you'd like the Coke a little more.
Yeah.
But I guess
I
with
like
an
the
average,
Coke
the tea is good. The tea is
Can I
actually
have
really
the
good.
tea again?
When I'm having another sip, the tea is nice. I actually really like this Earl Grey. It's a solid pairing. And this is not a light Cuban. Like when I've seen Earl Grey talked about, I've seen it with like lighter Cubans. I like this. Thoughts?
Oh yeah, the tea has its full flavor.
Right?
Yeah.
It's heavy compared to these other drinks.
Yeah, the iced tea, it kind of, hid away a bit.
All right. Let's do this one. Because we need something to upset. We need an upset here.
Right.
We need some. I guess the tea is a little bit of an upset, but I don't know. Nothing is really surprising us for the good, right? Except for the tea. Orange juice. Also, I want to hear from the listeners here if anyone drinks orange juice with their cigars, because apparently I've read on message boards and on forums and stuff that orange juice and cigars is an unbelievably underrated pairing. The sort of citrusy acidity balances really well with a cigar. I've never had this pairing.
This feels like it could be very subject to what cigar you're smoking.
Yeah, perhaps.
Be
but that's what's fascinating. I
good and
mean, a
very
lot of
bad.
people say it's good.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it feels like it should be. You can start away. You can start
Okay.
off loud. I'm gonna have a puff here. Thoughts?
Very citrusy.
Okay.
Perhaps more than I usually think orange juice is.
I've waited a year to do this. I've been really excited to try this orange juice because it's been so weirdly hyped and it surprised me a lot.
After taking a puff, yeah, I like it. But it's a lot of citrus.
It's very little citrus for me.
What?
Yeah, this is crazy. And again, I'm trying the tea intermittently, and the tea is still flavorful. This was not bad at all, though.
I like this.
It's not that acidic on my palate right now, but it's still good. It's not bad. The orange juice is not bad.
That's what I think, though, that the cigar is getting the pairing is getting a citrusy, acidic feel.
I just had a puff of the cigar, and I could taste the cigar quite prominently, which is good. That's what my problem with these cigars have been. Remember when we had the smoky whiskey, for example? It lifted the cigar. Do you remember how much it lifted the cigar?
Yeah.
None of these drinks almost. The tea has a little bit, but other than that, none of these sodas, the crappy Red Bull or milk, none of them have lifted the cigar. They've always coated the mouth and sort of taken over. This one, lets the cigar at least stay the same.
Yeah.
Which I like. It doesn't block out any of the flavor.
No, it's blocking out, but it's not blocking out, but it's making. I mean,
Makes it more
the
sour.
flavor is exactly. It's the orange flavor is staying and making the cigar very citrusy,
Okay.
which could be. I mean, yeah, raise some floral notes on a cigar or whatever. But
So a little over half time here with the pairings. Let's try the sparkling water. This is one that I've had many times, but I think with perspective now, it's interesting to revisit it. Sparkling water is one that I like to go to. I have like a soda stream at home. It's a classic. When I do reviews and stuff, it's the classic palate cleanser.
exactly.
If you go on any forum, whatever, this sparkling water is one of the classic palate cleansers. It doesn't only wash out your mouth like water, but it also has that sparkling effect that sort of feels like it's refreshing your mouth, right? But I'm excited to see if it's not quite as much as it feels like normally when I've had these other drinks. So, yeah, let's go to this. A classic, just normal, non-flavored sparkling water. That's fresh. That's nice. No flavor at all. God, that's effective. The cigar oh my God, the cigar explodes in flavor after that compared to before.
Yeah,
That's good.
This one I'm not surprised about that it actually works. But what I'm surprised about is how we've been drinking like 7 different drinks now, 8. I don't know. And then this one comes in and can just reset the palate, which is cool, and that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, sparkling water, it's not supposed to, pair in any way.
Yeah.
It's supposed to just reset.
Yeah, I guess it's not a pairing in that sense. What score would you give the orange juice before?
Right.
Because I realized
I don't know, 75.
I was gonna go 78. It's not bad. It's a little bit less than the Coke.
It alters the entire cigar though.
Yeah, for me it didn't alter it that much. It just didn't bring much forward, like I said. The sparkling water is it's hard to rate that. It's because it's not a pairing. It's like, what would I say, 90? It's probably like a 90 because the cigar is the same. The cigar is very heightened by it, but the pairing itself is not exciting. When I'm sipping this, I'm not given anything by this sip other than the cigar.
But that's the thing, that it works so effectively. The sparkling water compared to just regular water, because we were drinking regular water and with many other cigars that we've had now, and the sparkling water really works effectively in resetting the palate. So
it's true. Yeah, I'd say the 90 in that sense. Like it's very it's fantastic if you're smoking a cigar.
Yeah, I'd say definitely 90 plus maybe.
It's good. Yeah, that's good. A good trustworthy pairing. All right, Lad. We just had the cigar is so much more flavorful again. This is like I just started out just to say. We had the milk. It's a disgusting noise for you listeners. The milk was bad, but now we have a drinking yogurt. I don't know how common these are around the world, really. I think I know in France, like the Yoplait brand, it's big. I think it's like maybe just a European thing. I don't know, but like the drinking yogurts, it's yogurt, but it's very fluid, so it's still very drinkable. This is a strawberry flavored. This is like what you drink as kids, like for a snack time, right?
This one's going to be interesting. I don't know why we really added this. It was
we saw one of our friends drink it, and it felt like the funniest pairing, because I would never in my entire life, I never drinking yogurts. Like I haven't since I was a kid. Oh, that is way too rich. Like if you think the milk or the Red Bull coats your mouth, this is too much. This this leaves a layer on the palate.
Literal coating.
Wow. Okay, let's try to puff the cigar here.
We'll puff it together.
Nah, this does not work. This ain't it. This does not work. This does not work for me.
This was so interesting though.
It's so like if we're talking
my God, the
body
strawberry
here,
is so there. It's so, but that was kind of cool. Like
it's interesting, But if we're talking body here, like a very interesting, easy way to visualize body is water being light, like the lowest body, and
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
yogurt being the heaviest body. Because this, in the same way, like a heavy, full-bodied smoke covers your mouth both when you're sipping it or puffing it, and afterwards, the yogurt does the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
It's heavy when you take a sip, but also after you've swallowed the yogurt, it leaves a coating, just like a really rich cigar would.
Yeah, there's something with I don't know, sour bacteria culture in in yogurt
That's awful.
that doesn't work, and it sticks for several. Like you try to lick around your mouth to get it off, but a few puffs later, it's still there.
I take a puff of the cigar, and I can. It's a unique experience because I can barely taste my cigar.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, I'm smoking a medium-bodied, non-Cuban cigar. A lot of people that only smoke Cubans would think this is a kind of heavy cigar. And I'd take a sip of this yogurt, and it's like a shield.
You know what? That might be it. That it's good for after having a cigar. If you want to kill your,
If you want to, yeah,
if you want to kill the cigar taste.
yeah, this just it doesn't work. Like,
I mean, to be fair, a friend was drinking this after he'd smoked a cigar. Like,
Perhaps.
It wasn't, I don't think it was during.
maybe that's true. That was interesting. That was 30. That was so goddamn awful. Like, I don't think that the yogurt drink itself is bad, but just it does not get along well with my cigar whatsoever. What would you score it?
I mean, no, I would never think of having that with a cigar, unless trying it now. But I don't even know if it's okay. I'm just gonna put 50 middle of the line because honestly, it wasn't too bad. It was better than I expected it to be, though.
Okay, interesting. I thought it was worse than I expected it, to be honest. I didn't think it would kill the palate so much. Let's do something lighter. Let's do a vanilla Coke.
This one, I think, could be really good.
I as well am very hopeful for this one. Coke is very good. I've had like vanilla Coke before with cigars a long time ago. I know this root beer and Dr. Pepper we will get to later. They are the classic really good sodas. I know a lot of people like cream soda as well. Those are the ones that are
All right, cream soda.
super
That was a long
flavorful.
time ago.
Yeah. These are the ones that really pair well. Ooh, okay, that's more synthetic than I remember it. Wow. It's not that bad. My reaction was a little bit worse, but it was much more synthetic. The vanilla is like so uber fake. The puff of the cigar was nice though. It's not bad.
Okay, and this is the sugary one.
Yeah,
as well.
this is not fake sugar. I think the cigar came forward. Like, we had the yogurt before, but the cigar came forward a lot more with this.
Yeah, I feel like the vanilla artificial flavor is just too present.
It's so fake, right? I don't remember this being so fake. We had this a few months ago at the lounge, right? I remember we bought some when we were in Uppsala going back to Stockholm. Some vanilla Coke, and I don't remember it being this fake. I don't remember this being it.
But then we mixed it with.
I think we mixed it with
whiskey.
rum maybe, or
Or rum,
whiskey.
yeah.
Yeah. I like this. I actually genuinely I like this so much more than the Sprite, and I like this probably a little more than the normal Coca-Cola, actually.
I definitely like it more than the Sprite.
The more I sip on it, the
That's
more
the thing.
tolerable
we,
the vanilla is.
We need more. I think we need more than just one sip between every.
Yeah, but we are taking more than
no,
one
exactly,
sip.
because that's the trend I'm noticing as well. That once you sip it more,
You get
from
more
one-
used
going
to
from
it.
one
Yeah.
to another. Yeah,
But at the same time, you are more impacted by the flavor on the first sip. So like it is
Yeah.
kind of telling the fact that we both reacted so heavily on it being such a fake flavor, because obviously you can get used to that. Are you liking this more than normal Coke? Want to have a little sip, compare? Yeah, I like it more. It's the normal Coke is still to me very flat. It's still very, very flat. I just had another sip. The vanilla Coke at least brings forward some sort of flavor, and I feel like the vanilla is such a nice. It's a nice sort of neutral flavor that I feel like it's a good sort of palate resetter as well. I like this vanilla Coke. and it still tastes very synthetic, but I still like. It's almost perfumey in a way. Like it feels like it's sort of resetting the palate. I like it.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to agree with you that the vanilla is nice, and I don't know if that is because I drink Coke so much regularly and associate it with because with fast food and stuff.
Yeah,
That's the perfect combination. And the vanilla Coke is something that I just have once in a while.
85. It's an 85 with me. It's a tie with the tea. Both of them are nice. I like it. What do you think, Claude?
I'm gonna say 86.
Solid.
Just to be on the upper half.
But that's fascinating because we both agree that the vanilla is very, very synthetic. But I still think it's pleasant. It's light. It's such a light flavor. Like it's not synthetic and overbearing. Because when I take a puff of the cigar, the fake vanilla goes away immediately. Unlike the sort of fake yogurt on the strawberry side.
And the vanilla is also like a nice note to be able to find in a cigar. Right. So it's not bad to have it present when you're smoking.
All right, so we are down to the last two here. We have the San Pellegrino Aranciata, which is a very popular one on Instagram. I know there's a big community of guys on Instagram. And this is, I haven't seen it outside of Instagram, but you guys know, obviously, we're very active there. And I'm always checking out what people are having with their cigars and stuff. There's a big community that don't drink alcohol that have this, and even beyond that. So apparently they say this is the ultimate cigar pairing. Like not even as like a meme or a goof or whatever. Like they're genuinely they love this. And if like what sparked my interest is the apple juice itself is supposed to be so good that the sparkling or the orange juice. I read apple sign, which is up and seen, and orange in Swedish, and I get fucked here.
Same.
The orange juice itself is supposed to be so good. It wasn't, but this is a lighter version and a sparkling version. So I have. And this is a nice, San Pellegrino is pretty good, and I have high hopes for this.
It's also a very classy bottle.
Yeah, this is probably the most high-end stuff here, except for that fantastic yogurt. That rich yogurt. That's pretty nice. That's actually not bad. It's pretty bitter, but it's still pretty fresh. I like the orange juice, which didn't actually give me much of a refreshing feeling.
It's probably the the bubbles in it.
Yeah, I think I agree. And it's not as the orange juice is such a heavy sort of drink still. Like we're talking body, pure orange juice like this is still very thick. Like you can feel it on the palate. Yeah, the orange juice is not good. The Aranciata is nice. That's actually really nice.
I like that as well because it's also not too bitter. I was afraid it's going to be.
That's actually really nice. I get it.
I can definitely see this as well.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Once again, I feel like the key here, at least for me so far, is how much is it allowing my cigar to flourish? Because some of these drinks, there's been times here where I don't feel like I've had any flavor from my cigar, and like whenever I'm having a drink that is resetting it finally, I'm like, whoa, there it is. There's that like actual tobacco flavor.
Okay, with the Aranciata you get the citrusy flavor, but then when you smoke your cigar with the bubbles, just like how the sparkling water kind of resets it and allows your cigar to flourish, that's what I believe the Aranciata does differently than the orange juice. Which I like.
I agree. I really like this one. This one I enjoy a lot. It's not overly sweet either. This has a great balance. I see this. I really see the hype about this one. It's not overly sugary, although there is some sugar there, which is good with cigars. I like sugar, like sweet drinks with cigars. It's a nice sort of balance.
The only thing is that it's keeping my palate a bit on the bitter side.
Okay. Mine's balancing well. I think obviously, right? This is something to take for granted here, but every cigar is going to be different. That's why it's tough. But it's good to get two perspectives here. But honestly, this is solid. This is 86 for me. It's slightly better than the vanilla. I just had another sip of the vanilla. The vanilla again was very fake.
I'm gonna put mine with this cigar at an 84.
Okay, so it's slightly below the vanilla for
Yeah.
you. All right. No, I see it. The Aranciata is nice though. The Aranciata is very
It was
nice. I like this. Like I could see myself trying that again, like at a lounge where I'm not having alcohol. But I think we have the real winner for last. In my experience, if we don't have root beer here, which I think probably would reign supreme. But Dr. Pepper, one of the few sodas I actually kind of like in general. Like I never drink soda. Like never.
I pretty much only drink Coke and yeah.
I drink sodas with my I say this with our friends like when we're at a lounge or whatever. The only times I'm actually drinking any sodas is with cigars. Literally, like if I drink soda 10 times a year, 9 is with a cigar. So Dr. Pepper's one that I kind of enjoy. I like the sort of that's synthetic as hell. Jesus, I just had to say, but it has that kind of almost like cough medicine, fake. I don't know, like spice mix. So let's have a sip of this and see how this pairs. It's still fascinating to me because all these sodas taste so much thinner than I remember. They all have such a thin profile compared to how I think of them. The smell of this was so much heavier than the palate. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm a bit biased towards Dr. Pepper as well because I love this like cherry
Cough medicine,
cherry flavor. But there's something about that flavor that goes well with cigars. So
yeah, the cigar was very, very, very flavorful here. I just took a puff and that was good.
Oh yeah, so the bitterness
Solid.
is gone that I felt in my palate.
Jesus.
You know, it as with the other sparkling drinks, it resets the palate for the next puff.
Mm-hmm.
But you still get that nice cherry flavor. So, I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I think this was very middle of the pack. That's why I revisited the two drinks that surprised me the most just now. I had a sip of the iced tea because I was like, is my perspective changed a little bit now? No, it still had no flavor. Unbelievable. I just had another sip of the iced tea. It tasted like water. And then I tried the Red Bull and I was like, okay, is this going to be thin? And no, it just absolutely blasted my mouth with that fake flavor. The Dr. Pepper is much thinner. The Red Bull is just so incredibly, taste this. It's so heavily flavored, and it feels like it coats your mouth. The Red Bull is still awful. The iced tea is still tasteless. I think the winners for me are these sparkling ones here for sure. Nothing really, and the tea, nothing here surprised me that much.
Yeah, the Red Bull sucks.
It
it
does. To put it in layman's terms, the Red Bull really sucks. It's an awful pairing here.
The Dr. Pepper is actually lovely.
The Sprite is pretty shite still. Shite Sprite. A little better than the first time, but I think it's still not that. It's still bitter and kind of fake.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, bitterness for the Sprite. Once again,
Dr. Pepper is pretty clutch. If I had to do a top three, I'm gonna do a top three here. I'm gonna score the Dr. Pepper, and I think I'm gonna give it an 84. So I think my winner might actually be the Aranciata, and then it's the vanilla. I kind of want to give the Dr. Pepper an 85 too, though, because I think the tea, the vanilla Coke, and the Dr. Pepper are all sort of on the same level here, and then the Aranciata is slightly above, just because it's very refreshing. You know what it is for me? The Aranciata gives me a flavor that works well, but it also resets my palate similarly to the sparkling water, which I really enjoy. The cigar is very flavorful. With all these drinks, the tea, the Dr. Pepper, the vanilla Coke, and the Aranciata, the cigar gets to flourish. With all the other ones, for me, it ruined the cigar in one way or another.
Right. What I'm thinking just now is that the Dr. Pepper would suit a more medium to full bodied cigar.
I agree.
And the Aranciata to a lighter cigar.
Perhaps, yeah.
I don't know. This is just something that...
No, I agree.
Yeah.
The Aranciata is also like lighter. It's not as sweet either, so I think it it's a sparkling water that's been flavored with orange and a little bit of sugar, as where the sodas are literal sugar drinks.
Exactly.
What's your score for this Dr Pepper? You seem to like it a lot.
Yeah. 90.
Wow. Yeah, still, I'll bump it to an 85. I don't think it's better or worse than the vanilla Coke and the Earl Grey.
I think this then it the
Jesus. What are we doing here, lad? Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
Thank God we have our palate cleansers. You're drinking tea.
Anyway, I think this brings my top 3 to first Dr Pepper, second the vanilla Coke, and third the Aranciata.
It's funny because I'm thinking about my bottom 3 now, and I don't remember. I'm probably going to say different ones, but now with my full perspective,
Just like last time.
Yeah, other than the score, the yogurt is definitely the worst. Like it ruins the yogurt itself is not good, and it completely butchers the cigar. It kills it. Then it's probably the Red Bull, which also sort of kills the cigar. It's just such a heavy flavor on the palate. And then third worst, I think, is probably still the milk, which is just.
For me, it's worst. Worst is Red Bull. Second worst, milk. Third worst.
Try the milk now. It's not even cold anymore. It's disgusting. It's absolutely rancid.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's really awful. God, we really put ourselves through a tough time here for you lads.
Okay, the milk wasn't as bad as
what?
as I first when I took it directly on my mouth. It was like skim milk, you know.
Okay, yeah. Watery, yeah.
Watery, but I think it was actually better warm than it cold, to be honest.
Interesting. My cigar was pretty tasty throughout. I'd say this is Estrella Polar. It's squishy. It's a cheap construction. It burns really well though. It has nice sweetness, a little bit of earth. This is a good cigar to try with because it's very middle of the pack. There's no dominance.
Right.
In terms of the flavor notes here, there's nothing that really like crazy stands out. How's your cubanada?
No, I liked it. I mean, I feel like I didn't focus too much on the cigar itself, other than just trying to feel the flavors, you know, when switching from pairing to pairing. But I mean, it's on the medium plus side, and might be a bit too dominant for some of the pairings here today. But a nice cigar, nonetheless, and yeah.
So biggest upset. It's the Aranciata, even though it was kind of hyped or whatever you want to say before. Like I had high expectations. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. The tea surprised me, and then the Red Bull surprised me negatively. I knew we wouldn't like it with the cigar, but I didn't think it would ruin it so heavily.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Coke. The Coke, I would say, the normal Coke surprised me. I always think that that's a fantastic pairing. When I have this perspective, I don't think I'm going to drink Coke with my cigars ever again.
Maybe Jack and Coke.
Maybe. Definitely, actually.
Yeah.
No, but like, I don't know. I find it to be a good pairing, but when I see that the Dr. Pepper and the vanilla Coke and the Aranciata are so much better, I don't think I'm going to reach for the normal Coke.
I think I have a newfound... that I'm going to pick up a few Dr. Peppers probably more when smoking cigars.
I have a newfound love for yogurt, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah. You'll see me in the next...
I hate to do this.
Next time.
I hate to do this, but we're going to have to cut off this podcast here before we spiral too much out of control. I think we have too much palate cleansers today.
Probably.
Yeah, we see where's the trousers here. We had a lot of fun, though. This was really fun to try. I mean... Yeah, most of these we'd never even done before.
Yeah, it was so rapid fire though between the different pairings. So I mean, like you kind of got lost in it, but it was very
lost
fun
in
to
the
do.
sauce.
Lost in the sauce.
No, but I hope this was a little bit coherent at least. At least
so.
a little bit.
And we seem to agree on a few things at least, so we didn't, have to have a fight.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Usually we're pretty in tune with our palates. To be honest, it's kind of fascinating. But yeah, I mean, last time people seemed to enjoy the alcoholic one, even though I thought that was an absolute shit show. And here we didn't even have much alcohol except for the palate cleanser. So
yeah,
hopefully people still find this one enjoyable. We had a lot of fun. We have a lot of liquid here to see what we have to figure out to do with here to get rid of. There's so much drinks. We barely even scratched the surface here. All right, let's do this. Let's end this off like we did last time a little bit. Next year, we're doing we're doing edible. No, we're not doing edibles. We're doing edible pairings, perishable, I guess, foods. We're doing
So like cheese, chocolates,
yeah,
different fruits, I guess.
because that's one that's extremely fascinating to me. I've long been interested in this sort of eating, because a cigar impacts your palate so much, and drinks do as well, but it's hard to find something that impacts the palate as much as food, like real food, like things you actually eat, like chocolates, like Ruben said, fruits.
Yeah.
I've heard dry cured ham, like jamon serrano or whatever. That's very good, apparently. There's a lot to explore there. Next year, we'll give a promise to you and ourselves that we're going to do a pairing bonanza with, foods. I guess we'll have dinner with you guys on the podcast.
The series.
So that's it for the non-alcoholic pairings here. We hope you enjoyed. Please let us know if there's any of these that you've had, or if there's any that were not featured here that are super underrated. That's actually one. Like, please, if there's something here that you absolutely love, I would love to try
it out.
Because that's it's always fun to try new stuff. So
yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers.